You see, when you see the men walking on the street,
other men invariably do not harass them. Because if you harass, we are a group of four walking on the street, boisterous, and in a very damaging mood, we find four other boys coming from the other direction. They may be gentle, may not be boisterous, may appear as a matter of fact. These four boys who are boisterous, who are in a very difficult mood, they do not try to either physically or mentally harass the group of four. Normally, there can be occasions. Because you always have fear, the other person can hit back. When you harass a woman on the street, particularly if a boy who is harassing a woman in the street or in a metro train or who is harassing a woman in a TTC bus, he is at least assured of one fact: the girl cannot hit back. Even if she hits back, I will be able to better defend. So there is a need. Now the society has to ponder how will you bridge that need. Unfortunately, notwithstanding the 2 years which have passed, what for some efforts by Varsha Sharma, where she tries to give some orientation in self-defense, nothing has. You see, we are 100% sure no biological intervention is possible. Whatever we do, we will have to do it sociologically. Mindset change by bombarding the men with better ideas. And then also, you see, we need to create a capacity among the girls to defend themselves. And that will happen only if we can make every girl competent in self-defense. So that perhaps needs to be understood by women. In fact, I wanted to say this from that desk. I forward. I'm sorry for that. You see, one of the prime reasons for coming here is I want to urge you all to start a campaign to educate girl students in self-defense. At the age of 7 or so, every girl in school should be put through a compulsory self-defense training program. It should continue till class 10th. So that by the time she is in class 10th, at 7 years, she has undergone that self-defense training program and she becomes maybe black belt, judo, black belt, this thing. While walking on the street, if somebody misbehaves, if she decides to hit back, she will be able to defend. If she doesn't hit back, that is a separate issue. If somebody teases me on the street, if I decide to hit back, perhaps my slap will be as hard as that chap's slap.
Probably harder.
Perhaps a girl, if she even slaps, that group will laugh. That capacity has to be created among the girls so that by the time they become vulnerable. Because you see, when we see the age group of women who become victims of particularly rapes and molestation, of course we have kids of 4 and unfortunately women of 70, 80 also become victims. But the prime age when women become victims is between the age of 15 to 35. At 35, women will still have physical capacity to defend herself if she is properly trained. So all of you must campaign that a girl, when she reaches the class 3, should have a compulsory self-defense class, even if we have to say goodbye to sociology or maybe political science class. And by the time she is in class 10, she is a black belt, so men will not be given that training, by the way. This compulsory education will be only for girl students. So men have a better physical capacity in any case. Ma'am, you will have to campaign for it.
Yes, I wanted to come to that. There is a Nirbhaya fund that has been set up by the government of India, which has 2,000 crores of rupees. And a lot of, most of this money has not been disbursed so far. So can the police play a role in helping or working with women groups or flow to some extent, and the other groups which are NGOs, etc.
Ma'am, as far as we are concerned, we have been conducting self-defense training orientation program, I'll call them orientation programs. But a sustained training program can be organized only in schools as a compulsory subject right from the class 3, so that is the time when the child becomes physically competent. So it can be continued till class 10th, then the child will be good enough to defend if the child decides. If you decide not to hit back, this is separate thing. But you know, if need arises, I can hit back. Thank you.
If there is a question related to this particular thing, then very briefly, please, because there are other things to cover. Vidushi, just a minute, which she had asked earlier. This is
Namita for the girls it is self-defense classes, but I think for the boys it should be gender sensitization classes simultaneously. I think even earlier, maybe from class 8.
I'm glad you brought this point because this is also my point. And I'm Director Education. While it is very laudable that the focus is on self-defense, but why should all the focus be on girls and women? What about boys and men? And what is Delhi Police doing to sensitize young boys? Look at the public spaces. They are all owned by young boys. Young boys play football.
Vidushi, Vidushi,
No, this is not, I'm just trying to bring forth.
see,
this
the job
point.
of Delhi Police is not to sensitize its
No,
citizens.
see, I'm not, please, I think I'm being misunderstood. Please let me complete my point. Please let me say what I would like to say, right? Thank you. Thank you. So what I'm trying to say is that there's too much of attention on girls and women, so it seems that, either they are the victims, they have to take care of themselves. So it creates a very, false notion in young girls, because I'm dealing with young girls and they all the time ask me that why do we have to take all the onus of whatever happens? What about the boys who are studying in our classes? We have lots of teasing cases also. So all I'm trying to say is that we have to start talking of young boys. I'm talking of class 2 and class 3 and sir, as you said, class 7-year-old girls. We need to talk about 7-year-old boys also. And one very important factor which I feel is letting girls play in public spaces. Just like boys get together and play football and they play team sports. Seldom do we come across girls playing, team sports, except maybe in one or two very odd cases. Girls have to be encouraged to play sports and they have to be encouraged to play in public places just like young boys play, because they feel that they own the place. They feel the sense of belonging which is missing in women and girls also. So all that I'm trying to say is that we need to sensitize the boys also. Thank you.
I wanted to come.
For your information, I must, it would need clarification. We are aware of this. We are aware of this issue, and one of our programs, as you know, we are focusing on areas where we have, which are crime-prone areas. You are dealing with luggage theft. I will concentrate on railway stations, or on bus stands, because the luggage theft will take place primarily from railway station and bus stands. So when we are talking of crime against women, there are certain areas which are prone to crime against women. So in those areas, we are running a program called Yuva, where we sort of, that this outreach program focuses on youth who are in class 9, class 10, many of them school dropouts, and those who are studying in, say, university or who are unable to continue with the university education. These are the kids who are our focus of attention. We engage them in a very subtle fashion by organizing sports. Then we also engage them by organizing, with the help of civil society, skill development programs. A number of them, with the help of industry and commercial establishment, we have been able to get them placed in jobs. And the objective is what you said, that when we engage with kids of that age group, we want to make them as our ambassadors in fighting the crime against women. Yes, at schools, the teachers will have to deal with the boys in changing their mindset. But because we are focusing on bridging the capacity gap. So that is why the focus was on women. But as far as police is concerned, we are fully aware of it. And on our Yuva platform, our target group is the adolescents and youths who are vulnerable, particularly in areas which are prone to violence against women.
Thank you, Commissioner. I would like to, no, just a minute, please. We have panelists who haven't spoken at all. So, Commissioner Taj Hasan is.
Ma'am, I'm sorry to say it always happens. If you call me, then the others will be quiet.
Could you tell us a little more about this work? Because that is what you have said is your also part of the work that you are doing, dealing with NGOs and members of civil society to help the police. Can you just elaborate a little more?
We used to interact with the NGOs, women help group, particularly NGOs who are working with in the women field. Earlier also, we used to have meetings with them, but after the incident, December 12 incident, we made a system of monthly meeting with them. So we have around 38 NGOs working in Delhi, particularly in the field of women and women help group. And on the last Friday of each month, we interact with them. The purpose of interaction with them is to take feedback from them, to redress all of the issues that they raise on women's safety issues, and also tell them what we are doing. These NGOs, we encourage them to get feedback from their field staff so that they would be able to give us feedback, in a real sense. And we take feedback and then we try to redress their problems. There are many things which we have done. For example, gender sensitization training for our police personnel. And we take teachers from them. We take help from them. They give us study material. They participate with us. Then we also made many posters on women's safety issues. People should know what is our women helpline, 1091. We made many posters, and with their help, they pasted it to those areas where we have mainly large number of complaints on women's safety issues. These women help group actually basically a kind of feedback system for us. Besides that, many issues we encourage them to do on, say, women empowerment. There are many issues related to women, say, for example, domestic violence, in which the main issue is actually women empowerment. Women living with the husband or with the family, they are beaten, and the cases, in that case, they are not in a position to come out of the family. So it's a question of women empowerment. And the barometer of the crime that reflects society's condition basically is their condition. The overall condition of the women is very important. We should focus on that. So interaction with the NGO, basically it's going on. It's a monthly systematic way of handling these issues. And I would request if in that meeting, Flow as an organization can also participate.
We'll be happy to join hands with them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ma'am, would you like to tell us a little bit about what is specifically that you're working on in planning regarding women's safety?
Good afternoon, all the esteemed panelists and the respected guests out here. I would like to just mention what my unit does. The most important thing which we are doing at the Special Police Unit at Narayanpura, which I feel is my self-defense unit. The moment I got a call from the organizers here that they wanted some literature to be made and distributed in this meeting, I first of all told them to just have a training of a group of students, girl students, so that you know exactly what we are doing here when I say about my self-defense unit. And probably they were able to manage in a short period of time a group of students of around 80 with the help of Director Education. And in 10 days we were able to train them. And this training, I must tell you, it's a customized training, nothing very difficult or so, but in these 10 or 15 days, we make the girl confident in her posture and to tell her how to deal when she is at a public place, when she is traveling in a bus or in a market, then how can she use her dupatta, her pen, and how to deal with immediately. And if you can see that group which has been trained recently, you will be happy to see that they are a confident group. And the other thing which I see in these 10 or 15 days is the interaction. Like for these 10 or 15 days, they are actually dealing with Delhi police constables. Because this is the first point probably where they have spent 2 hours with the Delhi police staff and they come to know that they are no one different. Like police is considered to be very different, very harsh, but they become their didis for 15 days and they are not fearful in talking to them, in learning from them, and a very good interaction also takes place, which becomes a background for the future. Like when they interact with the police and they don't think that it's very different. We are just part of the same society. We are equally good and equally bad. So that is our main objective. And what Sir said, that we are reaching out to the schools. Like recently, I have written around 50 letters to the public schools, the girls' colleges, and where I have sent my representatives. My ACCs are going, my inspectors are going, talking to them and telling them that this is a program which we will be doing for you. Free of cost, whatever time you say we will be there. If you don't have a venue also, we have our own venue at Nanepura. We want to interact with you. It's not only through literature, but through action also. They come in contact with us, they know us, and we try to make them more confident while when they are out on the roads and so. So this is our main objective while we are training our girls or giving them orientation regarding self-defense.
Here I would like to mention that I saw many testimonials to the self-defense training being done by FLO's initiative along with the Delhi Police and NDMC. The girls are actually very, very confident and they were the demonstration, which you must have seen, the pictures were shown earlier. They are showing a lot of confidence and they said, yes, we can handle. That was their attitude. And in this juncture, I would also like to welcome Meenakshi Lekhi ji, Member Parliament, Amritsar. Over to Kiran now. I think we can take the questions.
We'll start with the questions and answers from the audience. If you want to ask the question to a specific officer, please mention that officer and please keep your questions small. Also introduce yourself briefly. Yes, ma'am.
If you involve FLO and some of the members of FLO, maybe we can help you in doing this in some schools where you have a say or where we know that they will listen to you. And some of the members can come forth and help in it. So if you send out a letter or something to our president, Meeta, I'm sure we'll love you.
So, actually, what I want is, once we interact with these schools and we get to have a program down there, we want to make it an annual affair. Let the education department do a little affair.
I will say something on this. We have a road safety club in many schools, and there is a nodal teacher in each school who facilitate teaching on road safety issues to the children. Similarly, we are trying to have a women's safety club in each school, so that there will be a nodal person in the school and there will be an annual kind of system. We will be briefing them and teaching them. So that will be a continuous process. We would welcome if there is any cooperation from any FLO.
Yeah, we've already started initiative. We started the initiation. This is just one of the workshops that we started and we shall continue to do so with your support.
We have written to many schools. We will follow it up.
I'd like an audience from that side. Yes?
Yeah. The girls in the city always have to live under the constant shadow of fear and insecurity. And my question is, with the increasing amount of heinous crimes in Delhi, do you think that police is taking necessary steps to curb gender-based violence?
We already answered that question. It's all you're repeating.
Okay, but don't you think we should work at the productivity level than surface level?
I'm sorry, I don't understand your
I
question.
think changing the ideology of the people is more important than teaching girls.
Changing the ideology is outside the ambit of the topic that is here today. We are talking about what the police is doing, and so obviously we have to change the ideology. Because half the onus of what is happening to women is on us. If we are going to do something that we shouldn't be doing, we don't take care. Even if you're living in New York, you don't go to the streets of Harlem and get mugged. So, but this is outside the ambit of this discussion, so I'm sorry, I'll pass on to the next question. Yeah, yes, please.
Myself, Kavita Sharma.
We can't hear you.
myself Kavita Sharma. मेरा सवाल वसी से है कि हर बार हम ये क्यों बोलते हैं कि हमको विमेन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को इंट्रोड्यूस करने की जरूरत है या विमेन ऑफिसर्स को इंट्रोड्यूस करने की जरूरत है पुलिस में, जबकि वैशाली इज डूइंग वेरी गुड जॉब फॉर द मेल. Why can't a male officer can do perform a good duty for the female?
Go ahead. If that's okay.
देखिए मैडम, आपने जो कहा है बिल्कुल दुरुस्त कहा है. इसीलिए मैंने आपने शायद उस समय एड्रेस कर दिया होगा, मैंने कहा था कि दिल्ली पुलिस के लिए महिला की सुरक्षा एक हमेशा से प्राइम कंसर्न रहा है. इसीलिए आज से 30 साल पहले दिल्ली पुलिस ने, उससे पहले भी जो है दिल्ली पुलिस कई प्रकार के कदम उठाया करती थी. आपको याद होगा जब आप यूनिवर्सिटी में जाया करते होंगे तो कई बार वो स्ट्रीट हैरेसमेंट के खिलाफ कवायद वगैरह भेज के हमारे अपने पुलिस कर्मी जाया करते थे, उनको पकड़ के उनको उस जमाने में तो आपको पता है कई बार पुलिस वाले पकड़ने के अलावा कुछ और भी करते थे. तो हमेशा से पुलिस का एक ये कंसर्न रहा है. उसमें पुलिस के जो पुरुष हैं कर्मी हैं वो भी उसमें उतना ही भागीदार है जितनी हमारी महिला कर्मी है. और जैसे जैसे महिलाओं की एम्पावरमेंट हो रही है, महिलाएं जैसे बिजनेस में आ रही हैं, महिलाएं ट्रेड में आ रही हैं, इंडस्ट्री में आ रही हैं, हवाई जहाज उड़ा रही हैं, तो इसी तरह से महिलाएं पुलिस में भी आ रही हैं. इसलिए पुलिस में उनका नंबर बढ़ रहा है. वो सिर्फ महिला के प्रति जो अपराध करेगा उसी को डील नहीं करेगी, तो वैसे दूसरे कामों को भी डील करती है. जैसे जो हमारी SHO मान लीजिए है किसी पुलिस स्टेशन की, उसका फोकस सिर्फ महिलाओं के प्रति अपराध ही नहीं है. अगर कोई चोर चोरी करता है या कोई रॉबरी करता है या कोई आपस में सर तोड़ लेते हैं एक दूसरे का या मर्डर होता है, उन केसेस को भी वो डील करते हैं. इसी प्रकार से पुलिस कर्मी भी हमारे जो है महिलाओं के प्रति अपराध जो होते हैं उनको डील करते हैं. तो दे आर ऑलरेडी सेंसिटाइज्ड. जब बेसिक ट्रेनिंग होती है उनका सेंसिटाइजेशन होता है. उसके अलावा भी हम समय समय पे जो है सेंसिटाइजेशन प्रोग्राम रन करते हैं. हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव ये है कि हर साल हर पुलिसकर्मी कम से कम एक बार एक स्पेशल उसकी ओरिएंटेशन भी हो जाए, जो उसकी बेसिक ओरिएंटेशन है, उसके अलावा एक स्पेशल ओरिएंटेशन भी हो जाए और सेंसिटाइजेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन.
Thank you. Some question from this side. Yes.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. I am Shivani Chhodra, advocate. I practice in the Delhi High Court. And my question is with regard to cyber law. This is like the women's safety issue which we are talking about. Cyberspace is also an area where women feel very threatened because there is cyberbullying and there is cyber obscenity and the Section 67 you must be aware of the IT Act and so on. So what I am wanting is that shouldn't we have more workshops, because I also conducted a workshop for the Delhi Police Training Institute, and shouldn't we have more workshops to make women aware of their rights and how they can meet the police people once they are affected by the cybercrime and so on.
Could you answer this, Mr. Sir Tamshi?
We have cyber cell, especially for a specific unit handling all those cyber issues. Many complaints we do receive on harassment through social media. We investigate those cases and we are trying to augment the capacity of the existing forensic cyber lab. That is in the process. Many cases we handle, investigate, and certainly there is a need for more workshop. We are doing many workshops as well with many institutions who are working in this field. We would certainly like to involve you if you are interested in that. You can meet us. We can finalize how this workshop can be done. Thank you.
जनरल महिलाओं की जानकारी के लिए I would like to tell, because all of you perhaps may not be aware. Ma'am, of course, Poonamji is aware of this issue and she has been, she conducted a workshop for our officers at the training institute. She is already empowered as far as this issue is concerned. You see, we have got a very competent cyber investigation unit, and perhaps Delhi Police was one of the first to, that infamous that MFS EPS anonymous case, we were able to apprehend the accused, crack the case. So this capacity is already existing. Cases which are being reported are being competently handled. We are further increasing this capacity. This capacity presently is located at EOW. We are going to further disseminate this capacity in every district investigating unit. And another, of course, that is again in the, if I may say, is a crime course. We are also going to go in for cyber, mobile cyber units, which will be able to reach the doorstep of a victim for taking, charge of evidence which may be relevant for a cyber crime. For instance, many times we have to take the image of the hard disk or something of the sort. So rather than asking the victim to come to our place, our providing will go there. So we have core competence available. Now, of course, you are aware. That competence is adequate for the problem which we are facing in the city, but we are further expanding.
Sir, journalist Amrita Rai का केस क्यों नहीं क्रैक कर पाया?
1 second, please. You are. Don't be Arka. Yes, in the middle.
Sir, I just have one question. Why doesn't the police, sensitize this thing? Why don't they take stricter actions against the people who are mercilessly raping even a 1-year-old kid? Why media only talks about that this has happened. After that, we don't hear what the police has done.
Ma'am, आपने शायद एक slide miss कर दिया होगा. I showed a slide which said that almost 71% of the cases are being worked out within 1 week. That if an incident is reported, within 7 days, we are able to crack 71% of the cases. Within 14 days, we are able to crack 87% of the cases. Then, few cases are cracked later. Kindly, bear with me. So we come down very heavily. Any incident of this nature agitates me till the time I arrest the person. Not only arrest the person, I have not shown that slide. You see, we have also issued instructions that whenever there is a rape and the person has been arrested, the charge sheet must be filed within 20 days. If the charge sheet is not filed within 20 days, the Joint Commissioner will send a report. The DCP will send a report to the Joint Commissioner. If the charge sheet is not filed within 30 days, then the Joint Commissioner will send a report to Special CP Crime. There is a copy to Commissioner of Police, giving reasons why we have not been able to file the charge sheet. So we come down very heavily with all the might which is there within the domain of.
Sorry, not a second question. There are others. Thank you so much. Yes, Anjana. Could you repeat the question on mic?
Yes, I think the Delhi police does a good job, but I would like to ask Mr. Mishra that how do you control your people? Like there are some police officers who are not the best, and you need to, what kind of check and balances do you have when you're enrolling or punishing the people who have been doing the mistakes? Because we have no confidence in the police force in India. Why is it that we get this feeling? We like the Bombay police. I think they are the only people who are scared.
You can ask me about Bombay police.
This gap in the trust or trust gap, I believe that it is our mutual endeavor to fight it out. Some actualize on our part and some probably much more on your part. Because what happens? Like since there is a child, he is scared by the parents, soldier, police wala aa jayega. So that is the first training that the child gets in his mother's lap. So there is an institutionalized hatred that is growing in the mind. Secondly, if you reduce yourself to as a child, you have a father, you have a mama. Mama was always a much welcome commodity in the house because he never used to ask you कि तेरा रिजल्ट क्या हुआ, सुबह उठता है, खाना खाया, दवा पिया, अभी रात को जो जगा हुआ है, Baap will always say only these kind of dirty things. I come when you are having a gala time, ball after time, 3 children, 3 of your cousins or kids, without helmet, doing boisterous actions. You doing whatever you feel like. I have to tell you, no, please, sir, here. So naturally, you won't like me. I'm not a very likable quality, right?